Local progressive movement, POP, the People's Organization of Progress, recently had Dr. Cornell West come out to speak at Rutgers University here in Newark. The name of the event was Our Role in the Revolution. So thusly, I'm like, eh? And then, this is the same organization which has such members as the ones who were featured on the Urban America is Done video. You know, the one who was talking about how Trump's gonna have Klansmen on their horses riding with torches, riding down Broad Market. Like, it is a little insane. But when it comes to Dr. West, I actually do respect him, and I believe he's sincere. Now, he's in academia, which, you know, they have to justify their paychecks, right? So, I realize that he gets paid off a lot of this, but he has been, you know, speaking and working and doing this for such a long time. And he was one of the ones that stepped away from Barack Obama early. Like I think him and Eric Michael Dyson, that clown, fell out super hard over it. And so to a degree, I have a ton of respect for Dr. Cornell West, but once again, it's that generational difference that we're talking about, that we're coming from. So without further ado, I'm going to let the man say his piece, but as per usual, I will be cutting in because this is my channel. This is my content. See, I think no one can come after me if it's mine. So let's go.
Yes, we went to Princeton, we went to Harvard, but we didn't believe in the hype. We went there to get empowerment. We went there to use intellectual weaponry in order to be of service for the least of these. Those Frantz Fanon called the wretched of the earth. Those brothers and sisters of all colors and hoods and environments.
The microphone is off.
Is this going out? Oh, I gotta cut it off. Yeah.
No.
Yo, for real. Just like the mic check couldn't even be properly. That's why we don't get nowhere. It really is why we don't get anywhere.
There it goes.
It may come and go. That's all right. We're going to keep the fire burning. Let it come and go. That's just electricity. We got another kind of electricity.
That's right.
But I'm talking about looking at the world through the lens of precious, poor, and working people. Those Sly Stone call everyday people. Those James Cleveland call ordinary people. That's why what Brother Fred is doing is not in any way marginal. It's not in any way on the edges. He is playing the music of a people that have been sustained for 400 years, preserving sanity and dignity. Give it up for this brother. Give it up for the music.
Okay, can we just get to the point?
Chronically, systemically, but we still keep dishing out love warriors. We taught the world so much about how to love. We taught the world so much about what love really is. I can just turn on John Coltrane's Love Supreme and sit down and let you listen to the music and let it soak every corner and nook and cranny of your soul and body.
Okay, so it's time for me to cut on in here. Now, when it comes to music, when it comes to the entertainment industry, everybody knows what a powerful weapon those things can be. I bring it up in a lot of videos, particularly when I notice the soft piano playing in the background. I'm like, oh, you manipulative mother. So, and the concept of love, the concept of, you know, love is sacrifice. You know, like as a concept, I mean, in reality, it's endorphins, it's chemicals kicking off in your brain. And I believe that outside of the male-female brain dynamic, like that in particular, is a universal concept and universal ideal. It's one of the more frustrating things about, you know, being in this skin is that I could have been born in any other skin and I feel like I'd be the same type of individual. And that's really what it should be about, as opposed to, you know, just trying to claim everything. Like, oh my God, like it's one of the more annoying aspects of being, you know, quote unquote black, is seeing how, you know, everybody, there's so many large swaths of quote unquote black people that want to just claim everything. Oh yeah, we invented this, we invented that. Like, I'm just grateful it's here. Thank you for the circumstances that created it, and keep it pushing. You know? Let's continue here, Doctor.
I can just let you listen to the greatest vocalist of the 20th century who comes out of Mount Zion Baptist Church on the chocolate side of Newark named Sarah Vaughan.
Seriously, I thought I was an annoying commentator, and when it comes to Sarah Vaughan, she had, well, they're clapping now, but Newark Symphony Hall, which has the Sarah Vaughan Hall, is basically on its way out. I don't even know what's happening to that place. So it's this level of hypocrisy, because they're like, he's sitting there talking about all these older artists and things like that, and he's playing to his crowd, but that's the thing, they're stuck. They are all, like, I guess proverbially stuck in this mindset, in this space of, you know, the like we're still back in the 60s, as if the last 40, 50 years haven't transpired. So it really is, like I said, a generational thing here.
I could just read you some of the poetry. The brother of Mary Baraka.
All right.
Honestly, this is really starting to feel like a stand-up set where, you know, oh man, hey Cleveland, how's it going? Or hey San Francisco, let's go down to the Cinderella. You know, it feels like a set as opposed to a speech. But let's continue.
For the love-soaked essays of James Baldwin. Love forces us to take off the mask. We know we cannot live within, but fear we cannot live without.
Right.
But Stevie Wonder's love and the need of love, it goes on and on and on. What is it about the best of these black people who have been terrorized for 400 years and teach the world so much about freedom? Frederick Douglass, if there is no struggle, there is no progress.
Hold up, I can agree 100% with this sentiment. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. So what did they do? They took the struggle away by inflating the welfare state. Bang! Oh! I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He's right. I believe in that's what life is. Life is not supposed to be some, you know, sweet, everybody's happy, kumbaya, participation in a trophy type space. No, life is rough. Life's a bitch. All right? For most of us, some people have it easier than others, but generally speaking, if we're playing averages, yeah, life ain't supposed to be a cakewalk. But the deal is that what the government and, but yeah, particularly our governments and those, you know, above them, did was they kind of just like planted everything out. They redlined districts. They said, hey, we're gonna really concentrate, you know, saying like the poverty here, and basically dump all our nonsense in this space, and over here in Suburbiaville we'll be fine. Until, guess what? They ran out of us and started coming for them.
No matter what Hollywood does to it, Harriet Tubman's a freedom fighter.
That's right.
Ida B. Wells, freedom fighter. And they say what? You terrorize us, we not gonna terrorize you back. We want freedom for everybody. That has a moral dimension, a spiritual dimension. And America needs to know, even at this grim moment in the crisis of the American empire, that if it had not been for the best of black people and the tradition that we produced, and black people had decided to hate back the way we've been hated, to terrorize back the way we've been terrorized, to create a black version of the Ku Klux Klan, there would have been a civil war every generation. There'd be no American democracy. America would have gone fascist decades ago.
All right.
But that's the thing. We have very fascistic elements taking place at this very moment within our urban spaces. I mean, it's basically a police state in a lot of these areas, and due to the necessity that policies such as the drug war and, you know, the purposeful institutionalization of the original black people of these areas, descendants, because you hear them keep saying black people, black people, black people, and you got somebody like, you know, from elsewhere who have no biological or blood claim to that history, being like, yeah, man, they keep hating us. You gotta, like, okay, yeah, their parents got here like 1995 and shit, and like they're like, oh my goodness, America did so bad to us. Like, bruh, like, you've been here since 95. Shut the fuck up and be grateful for what happened, as opposed to, oh no, well, blackness, so I get a stake in that claim. Nah, bruh, you don't. You really don't. That's why the Hard Sellers Act in the 60s was passed, in order to dilute, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, like the blackness that they spoke of at the time. You know, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, like the whole James Brown shit. Like they went out of their way to quash that. Let's continue.
I tell my vanilla brothers and sisters, when you see black people, y'all just give them a standing ovation. Thank
All
you,
right.
Martin Luther King Jr. Thank you for...
Word. Is that equality though? Cause I don't give nobody no damn ovation. When I was in the military, I was having a hard time saluting a motherfucker every time they kept walking into the room, because it's like, bruh, like, I don't know you like that. Just saying.
Philip Randolph. Thank you for Dorothy Irene Kite. What is it about these love warriors in the face of all this hatred and terror, all this trauma? They still concerned about healing. They still on a moral and spiritual ground. Something needs.
So he's basically admitting that, like, you know, we've been broken, and the women, like, because it's like, oh, why is it always about healing? Because it's talking about, like, because the feminine principle and feminine guidelines have been indoctrinated into these communities, and it started way back, like, you know, in 50s, 60s, and just has done absolutely nothing but escalate ever since. So yeah, that's like, yeah, they're always going to talk about healing because, oh my goodness, you know, it's a very feminine, it's a feminine mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's bitch think, if we want to be real about it. And urban America, particularly black, I don't want to say descendants, because like, that's just not the way I'm built, and I am a descendant, but the overarching, you know, the overarching narrative is, you know, more bitch think than anything else. It's not particularly of a masculine framework, which is why there's so many alphabetical, you know, people of color, or black men, if we're gonna be real, quote unquote black men.
To be done to keep that tradition alive, because the black freedom struggle has been the leaven in the American democratic loaf, and when it gets weak, the loaf gets stale. All right. And when that loaf gets stale, all of the vicious legacies of white supremacy and male supremacy and anti-Muslim, anti-Jewish.
And there he goes off on his whole intersectional thing, and it's like, dude, we got different struggles. And I don't, when I sit there and knock intersectionality, that's not me sitting here saying, oh, I have a problem with any of these groups. No, not at all. Y'all fam. It's all love. But that's the thing. I want the best for you, but the best for you don't equate to what's best for me. And I recognize that, you know, and that's where I think my biggest problem with that whole mindset comes from. It relinquishes us of our families. It relinquishes us of our bloodlines. It relinquishes us of, you know, what connects us to, you know, not just, you know, our people, but our lands, right? It further breaks us away from, you know, from ourselves and our history, and that like, he's preaching the same thing that he's fighting. It's very strange.
Anti-Mexican, anti-gay brothers and lesbian sisters, the transphobic.
Yeah, like I said, bruh, it's not anti, it's just that ain't for me. But when you keep trying to force it and like, oh, what, like, because I know there'll be people, like I had in the Atheism is Unstoppable versus the Tees video, I had somebody, oh, you're being transphobic. I'm not being transphobic. But the deal is that I like, you're not going to convince me that it's not a mental health issue and that these people shouldn't get therapy as opposed to being, you know, placated to. And that's never going to happen. I'm sorry. And if you don't like that, then that's on you. But once again, we got this guy right here trying to really thinking that there's strength in numbers. There is no strength in numbers. Your numbers account for nothing if you got a good strategy. And then we all watch 300. You can have all the numbers you want, but if we get you caught up in those hot gates, bruh, give me 300 good men. Now I got 400. We can be alright. We gonna be alright.
It loses sight of anybody made in the image and likeness of the God that I connected with surfaces in a vicious way, and that's in part what we're dealing with right now. The connection between the spiritual breakdown and the imperial breakdown. And I say imperial because you don't learn this on the corporate media. But America is not just a precious experiment in democracy, it's also an empire.
I literally say that all the time.
That's why when you hear folks say U.S. slavery was America's original sin, that's not true. It was the treatment of our precious indigenous brothers and sisters that was the first original sin.
How they treat each other. Just saying, because before the white man got there, they were sitting there killing each other over the same lands. War is war. Deal with it.
And we black folk, we don't need to push anybody's suffering aside in order for our suffering to be real.
That's right.
And we've learned this from the best of those who came before. And no matter.
But here's the problem. I agree with the sentiment. We don't need to brush others aside. I think we can all win out here in these streets. Like, America is this place where everybody can win. But the problem is that in trying to grapple on with everybody else, you lose a part of yourself in that. And when it comes to descendants, the plot has been long gone, guys. Y'all see the content I put up here, and I can't say whether these people are descendants or not, but I can guarantee you all of it takes place in America. So, well, most of it, I don't know. I've done 700 videos. Either ways though, it's not about knocking anybody else down, but when it comes if you see somebody thrashing in the water, are you going to try to help them up at your own risk and expense or not? If it's going to tilt you over there with them. And that's what's happened to descendants, not black people, but descendants. That's what's happened to us, is that we got everybody drug us into their water, and now we sitting here drowning with the fatherlessness. And now in the same city that he came and spoke in, they're sitting there talking about how all these girls and women are being abducted. And honestly, I can't muster up the sentiment to give a shit, because hey, you don't need no man, right? Enjoy that. You're sitting in the bed that you created, even though most of them don't realize that they created it, because you got gentlemen like this saying his spewing TDS as opposed to getting to the real issues. Let's go.
How limited our actions are, no matter how truncated our political discourse, we're going to allow all of those grand voices, from Ida B. Wells all the way up to Amina Baraka.
That's right.
To flow, to keep track of the least of these, and to make sure each and every one of us are accountable and answerable, so that we don't get locked into what that song in the Negro National Anthem says, which is, of course, becoming drunk with the wine of the world and locked into the felicities of bourgeois existence, and turning our back to poor brothers and sisters of all colors, working class brothers and sisters of all colors.
So where were you when the industrialization was getting knocked out? When they started shipping jobs away? When they went out of their way to destroy economic mobility and, economic stability for the working and middle and all these people you're claiming you care so much for? Where are you in this? That's the thing that really pisses me off the most, is that they say here those guys over there, they're the bourgeois. They're the ones who are not. Nah, it's you too. You just do it on a smaller scale. Where are you with trying to end it with saying, hey, this drug war got to stop. This policy got to go. Where are you with, hey, we really need to bring these fathers, we need to make sure that the fathers, that we put our men in the best positions possible for them to be able to make as much money as possible so they can afford to take care of these families that they end up creating. Where are you with those issues? Because I damn sure don't know, and I ain't following your ass around the world to find out. Let's continue.
Every one of us need to be challenged. So we start with ourselves.
Did this nigga really just say everybody needs to be challenged, when in the urban / quote unquote black community, challenging things just it only leads to violence? It only leads to irrational and emotional responses? Did he really say that? And they really try to clap? No, none of these folks want to be challenged. They're not here to be challenged. They're here to have their their worldview reinforced. And that's the weirdest part about this whole thing. Let's continue. You're about to get to it.
Now for 42 years, and I tell each and every one of my students, when you come into my class, you are here to learn how to die. They say, I thought I was just here to study a little philosophy and get a degree. I said, no, you need to learn how to die in order to learn how to live. And you learn how to die by mustering the courage to examine honestly, unflinchingly who you are. And when you have certain assumptions and prejudices, you got to cut it loose and let it go. James Brown said, give it up and turn it loose. And when you...
So he's like, oh yeah, you know, you got all these prejudices, you got to cut them loose and let them go. I mean, oh, white supremacy. Oh, like, Jesus Christ.
Give it up and turn it loose. You emerge stronger. There is no life without death. Reborn every day, dying every day, critically reflecting every day. Never forget our dear sister, our vanilla sister, our Catholic sister Dorothy Day. Her eulogy for Martin Luther King Jr. on April 5th, 1968 was one line. Martin Luther King Jr. learned how to die daily. Because when you really love folk, you loathe the fact they're being treated unfairly. When you really love folk, you hate the fact they're being treated unjustly. And if you don't do something, the rocks are going to cry out.
That's the thing. It's very passionate rhetoric, but that's all it is rhetoric. That's all it is. They sit here through the charities, like his paycheck is required that the issues that have been going on remain going on. So thusly, any sense of getting towards any real conclusion or real solutions is completely lost and completely gone. He didn't make any demands of Barack Obama either when it came to policies and legislation, particularly pertaining to that 94 crime bill. Nobody even brought that bill up until Joe Biden started running for president. Nobody cared. Guys, I think this one's ran on long enough. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute and like. I'm not the biggest fans of your boy over here. Bang the bell because, you know, notifications is how you stay up on when I drop jewels such as this and speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments, man? I have a ton of respect for Dr. West, but it's no different than a ton of respect that I have for that lady living in the apartment that 80-year-old lady living in an apartment building in, you know what I'm saying, on Union Avenue. Freaking, it's just because you old. It's not particularly because you out here spewing anything really trying to fix these problems. You like, and it's actually a little more irritating for me because it's like, bro, you old as hell. How have you not seen these problems and not going to rectify these problems yet? But hey, what do I know? I'm just some jackass on the internet. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until the next one.